Hi Teddies, welcome to the Hilda Bear Club, the ultimate club for girly nerds and boys, a place for all things fun. I'm Hilda, and today I'm sharing my most massive book haul yet. A total of 12 books, which is pretty hefty for me, and honestly, they've been sitting on my floor in my office collecting dust. So it's time to unbox them and find a home for them on my bookshelf. Some of these I ordered and some I received through my monthly subscription box. So FairyLoot, OwlCrate, Book of the Month, and they range from adult fantasy to sci-fi to young adult. And since there's quite a lot to get through, let's jump right in. First, we'll start off with my FairyLoot subscription box, which is an adult fantasy young adult combo box that I received. And this one is in my September box, which is Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. I just need to take a moment to admire this absolutely stunning and gorgeous cover for this book. This is a dark academia adult fantasy that follows Alice, who is an ambitious student and willing to do anything to prove herself. But unfortunately, her professor, who is the most greatest magician in the world, dies in an accident and is sent to hell. So Alice then decides she will go in after him, which sounds pretty insane, but also intriguing at the same time. I've never read an R.F. Kuang book before, but the premise sounds so right up my alley and I'm looking forward to reading it. I have been seeing quite a lot of buzz about this book online, so my assumption is that it's either really, really good or a huge flop. Okay, so the next book is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. And this is a book, I think it's book one of the Souls of Blackwood Academy series. This is another dark academia fantasy and takes place at Blackwood Academy, a legendary school located in the afterlife. And once the student enters the academy, there is no way out unless you win a magical competition hosted by the academy called Decennial. And this year there are 6 top students who have been chosen to enter the competition. I love these types of high stakes stories because there's always twists and turns and death and betrayal, and they're always such a fun time. So I'm really excited to read this one. Now moving on to my second FairyLoot box, and in this one we have Alchemised by Senlinyu, an adult dark fantasy, and this story follows Helena, who is a talented alchemist who is now a prisoner, who has lost her memories, has had her abilities suppressed, and all her resistant friends and allies were murdered. I mean, damn, that's brutal. Like, what more can go wrong for her, right? So Helena is being held captive by the new ruling class of corrupt guild families and necromancers. And according to their records, she was a healer within their ranks, but because she's lost her memories, they also can't help to wonder if she's truly as insignificant as she seems or if there's something more. So now Helena must fight to protect her world and preserve the last remaining shreds of her former self. And alchemy is such an intricate magic system that always fascinates me. So I'm really hoping the world building and magic system is well developed, because if they are, I will for sure gobble this book up. Next we have Never Ever After by Sulin Tan, and I believe this is the first book of her new fantasy romance series that she's writing, and it's influenced by Chinese fairy tales, which sounds so fun. And this one is a reimagining of Cinderella. I actually featured this book in my previous video that I uploaded, and it's on dark Disney books that you should be adding to your winter TBR. And I talk a little bit more about the Cinderella elements in this book and how it ties in to the classic fairy tale. So if you kind of want to learn more of the connection there, you can watch that video. But our main character is Yining, who after losing her beloved uncle had to become a skilled thief in order to survive. And when she obtains this magical ring that can give her a better life, it's stolen by her step-aunt, and she therefore needs to venture into the heart of the kingdom to seize it back. And I can't wait to dive into this absolutely gorgeous and elegant book. Okay, now we're going to jump into the books I ordered from Illumicrate, and the first one is Watermoon by Samantha Sotto Yambao. And this one I actually ordered right after I saw it on a book vlog by one of my favorite YouTube channels, and the book looked absolutely beautiful and I had to have it. I mean, doesn't this cover just infatuate you? It's so gorgeous. And the story itself is also very captivating. It's about a woman who inherits a pawn shop that not everyone can find. Most people will see a cozy ramen restaurant, and only the chosen ones or those who are lost will find it. And upon entering, they can choose to pawn their life choices or their deepest regrets. But the first morning of her becoming the new owner, she finds the shop ransacked and one of the precious acquisitions that she had stolen. And her father has gone missing. And then a stranger who stumbles into the shop for help actually goes on this journey with her into a mystical world to find her father. I mean, how dreamy and whimsical does that sound? I'm definitely adding this one to my winter TBR. Okay, on to the next book, which is Holy Terrors by Margaret Owen, which is the third book in the Indie Next series. And I have to be honest, I bought this one without owning book 1 or book 2. I just fell in love with the artwork on this beautiful cover, and I told myself, if you buy this book, then you have to find the Illumicrate special editions of book 1 and 2. And after many hours and 2 days had passed, I found them. The perfect pair on Mercari of Little Thieves and Painted Devils. And one thing I was pretty concerned about when searching for these books were any creasing, scratches, or wear and tear on the dust jacket, since Little Thieves came out in 2021 and Painted Devils came out in 2023. But when I got these, I could tell right away that they were carefully taken care of. I mean, for being a few years old, they are in great condition, and I was so happy having the complete set. So not to spoil any of the story, I'll share like a quick premise of the first book, which follows Vanya, a maid who, after serving the princess for many years, steals her identity and her life and uses magical pearls. But everything comes with a cost. So when Vanya crosses the wrong god, she's cursed to slowly turn into jewels for her greed. And now she only has 2 weeks to find something to cure her curse. And this story is just so intriguing and enchanting, and I can also sense this will be a lot of tension, and love that feeling of mischief wrapped into consequence. All right, we're almost there, guys. Just 4 more to get through, and next is my OwlCrate sci-fi subscription box, and this is Metallic Realms by Lincoln Michel. I think it might be Michel. And I have to be honest, the premise of this book is a little confusing, and it was difficult to decipher what exactly it's about. But one thing is for sure, it has solar whales, swallowing suns, extraterrestrial romances, interstellar wars, everything you could ever hope for in a sci-fi book, and it sounds like an absolute masterpiece. And the next book is from my OwlCrate adult subscription box, and I don't have that subscription anymore, but this was a book that was supposed to be sent in May, and due to a printing error, I didn't get it until September. But it's Modern Divination by Agajanian. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering all of these authors' names, but this is a dark contemporary fantasy and the first book in the Spells for Life and Death duology. This story follows a 23-year-old witch named Aurelia Schwartz, who has always been able to balance her life carefully as a human and a magical witch. And she attends the elite Cambridge University, and has almost everything that she could possibly want. But when her magic begins to fade and she finds out that someone is hunting witches and stealing their powers, she asks her fellow classmate for help, and they both seek refuge in a remote town. And as she gets closer to him, the witch killer draws near and threatens to take everything that she loves away from her. So this definitely feels moody and sounds like a slow burn romance brewing in the background. There will definitely be a lot of tension and secrets that will unfold as the story progresses, but it sounds really, really promising. Okay, 2 more to go, so we're almost done. The last 2 books are from my Book of the Month monthly subscription for September and October. And in September, I picked Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, which is a horror book. And this is about Cleo, a stylist and influencer who lives a perfect life. But beneath it all, she has a secret. She grew up in a possessed house. And after Cleo's parents divorced, her mother moved Cleo and her sisters into a house that was occupied by a demon, or at least that's what her mother claimed. But after her mother's sudden death, the supposedly possessed house passes on to Cleo and her sisters. And as Cleo sees the opportunity for house flipping, her sisters see childhood trauma. And as memories resurface and Cleo finally reads the book that her mother wrote about the house, a sinister presence starts to manifest in the house. I absolutely love reading horror books. They're so thrilling and twisted and creepy. And this one feels like Cleo is peeling away the wallpaper of her own past, but then realizing the real haunting was never the house, but what happened inside of it. So definitely a good pick. And last, we have Red City by Marie Lu, another fantasy book about alchemy, which is so cool. And in this story, alchemy is a hidden art form of transformation, exclusive only to the powerful crime syndicates who market it to the world's elites in the form of sand. Doesn't that sound so familiar? But essentially, this drug enhances those who take it into a more perfect version of themselves. So they're more beautiful, more charismatic, just simply more. And the main characters are Sam and Ari, 2 childhood friends who are part of 2 rival syndicates who get caught between conflict and a coming war. At its core, it's about 2 people who started with the same dream and ended up on opposite sides of the war, which feels intense and very tragic and makes you question what you'd sacrifice to become the best version of yourself and what cost of perfection is. So definitely another good pick. And there you have it, my insanely massive book haul. I have all of these 12 books here. And thank you for sticking around this long if you made it this far. If you read any of these books or have any additional recommendations just based on the type of genre that I love, please comment them down below. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you recommend. And if you enjoy content like this, then I welcome you to subscribe to the Hilda Bear Club and become a Teddy member. And I'll see you next time. Bye!